Welcome to the Tony D. Now Show.
Hello and good evening to the Tony D. Now Show. Tonight we have a very unique guest, not so unique in many ways, but in many ways it is. Tony Daddona is going to be our special guest on the Tony D. Now Show tonight. Tony, come on over.
Hey,
This is
John,
my good
how are you,
friend.
buddy?
Oh, great. This is my good friend Tony Daddona, and welcome and have a seat, Tony.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, Tony, this is a most unique situation here, that we're going to have you as a guest on your own show. Imagine that. How did you, I got to start out with this question, though. How did you become interested in TV production?
Well, I had a little time on my hands.
Oh, really?
A few years ago.
We'll get into that later.
I was unemployed,
Uh-huh.
and I needed to find something to do, and I heard about this place, okay? And I heard that I could come here, and it wouldn't cost me any money to become a TV producer.
Well, that's
And I
the
thought,
key.
well, that's a good idea, you know. So I came down here, and I went through the whole program, took the test.
How long did this process take, Tony?
About a month,
Mhm.
you know, a little bit longer than
Yeah.
that.
But you can't do this without that going through that
Correct.
first. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's discuss something important. Tony has two full-length, wonderful CDs. Both of them are unique in their own way because one of them is strictly covers of people like Sinatra and people like that, and which are great, great songs. And this other one is one that the majority of the songs that he wrote himself, and he also produced this himself. But this was done in a really nice studio up in Pennsylvania. But Tony, tell me a little, not just so much how that one got, but how did this one come to be? Because you wrote a lot of the stuff here. Tell me about that.
Well, I actually became interested. What happened is I wrote a song. I wrote my first song, and
That's a start. The first one.
yeah, I wrote the first song. And a friend of mine who is a singer, songwriter,
Right.
guy by the name of John Chapman,
Uh-huh.
up in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
We met one day, in fact, in a church parking lot. And I said, "Hey, John, I wrote a song." I said, "You want to hear it?" He said, "Yeah, come on, sing it for me." And I sang it to him in the church parking lot. And he says, "Man, you have a nice voice."
Yeah.
And I was in my 60s at the time.
Right.
And he said to me, "You know, why don't you come over to my studio and let's work on this a little bit." And he gave me some songs to sing, most of which are on that first CD that you
Right,
showed,
right.
Sinatra, mostly Sinatra, Dean Martin songs.
Yeah.
I learned those songs, and we went out and did a gig.
Mhm.
And he played the keyboard, and I sang the songs. And the audience kept asking for more. And I sang about 10 songs that night.
Well, I was going to ask how'd that go, but obviously 10 songs, so it must have went all right.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, it went very well.
Yeah.
And then I just became more interested in writing, and I started writing some of my experiences down
Mhm.
and putting them into music.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do. I'd like to hear one.
Okay,
Yeah. Can I pick one, or you want to pick one?
oh, go ahead. You can
How
pick one.
about my friend, my lover, my wife? How about that?
Okay,
Can you pull that one out of your hat?
I think I can.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Tony Daddona, people.
Thank you. You are so precious to me. You've done so much for me. You are the one I love. You're my friend, my lover, you're my wife. I can remember when I had no one like you. It was a sad time then. You're my friend, my lover, you're my wife. I thank you for being here for me, and thank you for helping me to see all I can be, all I can be. Oh, since I found you, dear, there's a feeling inside of me. Oh, how you touched my heart. You're my friend, my lover, you're my wife. This music is played by Mr. Alan Gallmer, good friend, fabulous musician from Allentown, Pennsylvania. I thank you for being here for me, and thank you for helping me to see all I can be, all I can be. Oh, since I found you, dear, there's a feeling inside of me. Oh, how you touched my heart. You're my friend, my lover, you're my wife. You are the one I love. You're my friend, my lover, you're my wife.
All right, Tony, that was wonderful.
Thank you, John.
That was just wonderful. I have to ask, how did that song come about?
Well, this was one of those nights that, one of those things where just everything comes together. You
Yeah.
know, I woke up about 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know exactly what time it was.
And you looked out the window, the planets were in alignment, right?
And the words just came to me, you know, and I wrote them down.
Yeah.
And
Write them down quick before you forget, yeah.
It didn't take me very long, 15, 20 minutes, and I had this thing written. Went back to sleep, and when I got up, there they were on the nightstand. And
Good morning.
And you know, it was just one of those moments that that happen sometimes.
We didn't really, we kind of hit on this a little bit, but, you know, you mentioned Sinatra.
Yes.
But who were some of your influences, you know, prior to writing? And I mean, who did you really, you know, who'd you connect with?
I have to say the Rat Pack.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good pack to connect with.
That's probably who it was, but there were others like Perry Como
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
Bing Crosby,
Right.
and those are the guys that I looked up to. That's the kind of music I really
Sure.
loved and
Yeah.
enjoyed.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, I don't know about the audience, but I want to hear another song.
Okay,
All right, let's do it.
all right.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you're with me, and there's no place I'd rather be. I hold you close as you hold me. It's in your arms I want to be. 'Cause baby, I love you. I want you and need you. And I have a feeling you want me to. 'Cause baby, I love you. I want you and need you. And I have a feeling you feel that way too. When we are near, it makes me see that it's together we should be. And when I hold you near to me, that feeling, baby, comes over me. 'Cause baby, I love you. I want you and need you. And I have a feeling you want me to. 'Cause baby, I love you. I want you and need you. And I have a feeling you feel that way too. Oh, play it, boys. Oh, yeah. When we are near, it makes me see that it's together we should be. And when I hold you near to me, that feeling, baby, comes over me. 'Cause baby, I love you. I want you and need you. And I have a feeling you want me to. 'Cause baby, I want you. I want you and need you. And I have a feeling you feel that way too. 'Cause baby, I love you. I want you and need you. And I have a feeling you want me to. 'Cause baby, I love you. I want you and need you. And I have a feeling you feel that way too. Oh, I have a feeling you feel that way too. Oh, yeah.
All right. Now, that one had some snap. I like that. I like that one. And also, Tony, that is the title track, correct?
That's the title track.
Yeah, title track of this one right here. Yeah.
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 And that's the first song I wrote.
And that's the first song you've ever written?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was the first song I wrote.
Not only was I thought the vocals were great, but the instrumentation on that one was really, really good. Great musicians on that. Mm-hmm. And they were up in Allentown?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful stuff there, Tony. I mean,
yeah.
Anybody, I think, should enjoy that. If you don't, then I don't know what's wrong with you. Something. I want to talk just a moment about, you've had these two projects, done successfully. I know you've got some stuff that you're writing now. I know you've got some stuff you're working on. Tell the audience a little bit about what's going on now. What kind of projects?
Okay, I made some notes, and one of the...
That's a good thing, notes.
Okay, this is a song that is designed to be like an exercise song for old folks like me.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and it's called the 3 Ps. And just the beginning of the song says, I went to my doctor the other day, and I said, Doc, look at me. I'm afraid to check my weight. Okay, but that's how the song starts. And what the doctor said was, you gotta puff, perspire, and palpitate. Then watch what you put on your plate, and it goes from there. Okay, so that's
Use
one of
your
my
imagination.
songs. That's one of my songs.
Right,
Okay, that
right,
I'm
right.
working on. Another song that I've been working on is, if you recall, at one of the shows we had a something that my wife made me, and it said that love is music, music is love.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a beautiful piece of something there, okay? And, but anyway, I wrote a song about that. And it says, love is music, music is love, when the notes and words come from above.
Mm-hmm.
This is a spiritual song.
Very much so, sounds
And,
like
and it goes on from there,
it. Mm-hmm.
okay? Another one is called Over Time, My Love for You.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts out, over time, everything changes. Over time, we'll see what's new. The one thing that changes for better is the love I have for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how that one starts out.
You know, Tony, even your first CD here, Songs of Love, there's a lot of love and passion and stuff like that going on in your songs. Is that, I mean, obviously that's coming from your heart. I mean, it's singing about someone or people or things or happenings, but it's coming from here.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, life experiences, I presume.
Absolutely, a lot of life experiences.
Well, when you've been around as long as we have, you got a lot of experience.
Here's one that, that you'll enjoy the title of, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's called, You Got Me Feeling Like the Dog That Caught the Tire.
Now what is he going to do? Let's hear another song.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. I met her in Italy. I met her in Italy. Her name was Angelina, and she was so good to me. It happened in Napoli, in beautiful Napoli. Her name was Angelina, and she was so good to me. We walked and I held her hand as we listened to the band. She glanced and smiled at me, my beautiful Angelina. It was a moonlit night, the stars were shining bright. I asked her for a dance, and it turned into romance. Angelina, Angelina, in the city by the sea. Angelina, Angelina, you were so good to me. Angelina, Angelina, how I wish I could be back with you, my Angelina, back in Napoli. I tell you, she looks so grand. Oh, the sparkle in her eye, the sound of her sweet sigh. Bella Angelina, we had 2 sips of wine. I knew that she was mine. She captured my desires. Maronda Angelina. Angelina, Angelina, in the city by the sea. Angelina, Angelina, you were so good to me. Angelina, Angelina, how I wish I could be back with you, my Angelina, back in Napoli. It happened in Napoli, in beautiful Napoli. Her name was Angelina, and she was so good to me. Oh, that Angelina, what a gal she was. John, I'm telling you, she was something. I said to her, quando sei bella chickenella, which means, what a beautiful peak. Angelina, Angelina, the city by the sea. Angelina, Angelina, you were so good to me. Angelina, Angelina, how I wish I could be back with you, my Angelina, back in Napoli. It happened in Napoli, in beautiful Napoli. Her name was Angelina, and she was so good to me. Maronda Angelina, she was so good to me. Hey. Maronda that Angelina, she was so good to me. That was fun.
That was unusually good. It was a march, a bit of the music had a march to it.
Well, it was an Italian march.
Exactly.
Italian march.
And what I really liked about it was it certainly tells the story. I don't know about you guys in the audience, but after hearing that, I feel like I got to go eat lasagna and drink red wine because I feel like I'm in Italy now. Okay, I mean it did it for me. Hope it does it for you. Anyway, we got to talk about this song. Did it really happen in Napoli?
It did. It
Oh,
did. It really
man.
happened in Napoli. I was a teenager in the Navy.
Oh,
And,
so it did happen.
Yep, I was a teenager.
happened.
I was like 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
And I was in the Navy.
Navy, yeah.
And the ship pulled into Naples, and it really happened. And in fact, it really touched me. And the next night, I went out looking for Angelina again and couldn't find her.
Oh no.
And so that's what happened.
Well, let me ask you this: when a ship comes into port like that in a foreign country, and the naval guys get off the boat, and all of a sudden a naval guy gets off the boat with the last name of Daddona, I mean, didn't you kind of almost feel not at home, but at home? But didn't the people sort of, when they learned your name, like, hey, he's one of us?
Yeah, well, they kind of knew that. I mean, I went to an Italian store looking for Italian things. I went to an Italian restaurant. As a matter of fact, it wasn't
get
in
some
Naples.
lasagna?
It wasn't in Naples, but the ship went around the island. Okay, and we went to Genoa, and I went to a Italian restaurant, and there was a dish that I asked them to make for me, and they didn't know how to make it, and I went back in the kitchen. And I made the dish.
You went back and said, look, let me show you how grandmother made it. Is that right?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. This is how my grandmother did it. And,
What's the matter with you people?
And they loved it, you know. And that
What
was,
kind of dish was it?
it was macaroni aglio with alige, okay, which is spaghetti made with oil and garlic with anchovies added to it.
And that sounds kind of interesting and quite good.
Yeah, it was delicious.
And what would go with that besides red wine? Like a salad or bread, of course?
Yeah, salad.
A veggie of some kind?
Nice salad.
Yeah, interesting. Now, that city, Napoli, is that a large city? I'm not really familiar.
Yeah, Naples is a pretty large city.
So that is
and-
Naples. Napoli.
What?
Napoli is Naples.
Naples. Yeah, Naples.
So I forget I'm talking to an Italian. Pardon me.
Yeah. And Naples is a pretty large city, and this happened in the old city, okay? Like Naples, even back then, I'm going back like 50 years.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But even back then, it was there was an older city and a kind of a newer city to Naples, and the streets weren't very wide, you know, and
Just everything old. And of course, it's Europe. You know, it's Italy.
yeah.
Yeah, been there a long time. You've done a lot of Sinatra stuff,
Yes.
and I know you've done a lot of shows locally, live shows, not just recording stuff, but live
Yes,
shows.
yes.
And I know from what our previous conversations have been that you've done a lot of live Sinatra stuff. Is Sinatra still alive? I mean, as far as music is concerned, people still like to hear it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
do.
Oh yeah.
I have Sinatra at home that I
Yeah.
listen to. Yeah.
There's a radio station around Charlotte, WLIV, I think it is, where they play oldies, and on Sundays they have a Sinatra hour.
I even like Sinatra movies.
Yeah, me too. I'm a real fan.
Yeah.
Now, frankly, I like Dean Martin better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean he was just cool.
Oh, he was the cool one.
Yeah, he was cool. And you know, coming up, that's who I liked.
Sure.
I liked him better than Sinatra.
Yeah.
But all those crooners,
Oh, yeah.
you know, that's just the type of music that I really love, and that's what I listen to now.
Well, you know, I've known you for years now, but when I first met you, I was hearing some of the stuff you were doing, and the word crooner came to mind immediately. I thought, that guy is a crooner. And that's what you do, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't think that Red Eye Special is too much of a crooner.
No, it isn't. It is not, but that's just the way it turned out. You know?
Absolutely, absolutely.
It just seemed like that's the way it should have been, you know.
Question. I know you're originally from Pennsylvania,
Yes.
but when did you moved to Charlotte, and how did you get to Charlotte?
Well, that's an interesting story. I was a builder
Uh-huh.
in Pennsylvania,
Right.
and in 08, 07, 08,
Yeah.
okay, when everything happened,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I
the
know.
economy, when the economy just fell,
Right.
I went broke. I went completely
Oh,
broke.
that's fun.
And I wound up coming to Charlotte because some of my family was here. My son that moved down here, and that's what happened. And we opened the restaurant, and then we closed that restaurant because of family problems. Okay,
Right.
and that's when I came here. That's when I had a little time on my hands.
Did you guys serve lasagna?
We were pizza and cheesesteaks.
Okay.
We were a Philadelphia type restaurant.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Philly cheesesteaks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Folks, I think that's about all the time we've got. I just want to tell you how much I've enjoyed having Tony Daddona, my good friend and friend for years now, on his own show. That was the most unique. I've hosted many shows, but I've never hosted the producer of the show, you know. But so this is a first for me, okay? So, you know, let's give Tony a hand, and I'm going to give him a hand myself, and we'll do this again someday. Thank you. Goodbye.
Good night. Thank you. Angelina, in the city by the sea. Angelina, you were so good to me. Angelina, how I wish I could be back with you, my Angelina, back in Napoli. It happened in Napoli, in beautiful Napoli. Her name was Angelina, and she was so good to me. Oh, that Angelina, what a gal she was. John, I'm telling you, she was something. I said to her, quando sei bella chickenella, which means, what a beautiful peak. Angelina, the city by the sea. Angelina, you were so good to me. Angelina, how I wish I could be back with you, my Angelina, back in Napoli. It happened in Napoli, in beautiful Napoli. Her name was Angelina, and she was so good to me. Maronda Angelina, she was so good to me. Hey. Maronda Angelina, she was so good to me.